Well, hello everyone. Happy holidays. You talk about it, say for the Ready Set Lights it is. You see right here is I went ahead and bought a star from last year's Christmas sale. It was at when we went up to the store and gotten a star it is, and just taking out the package. I was just thinking whenever I was opening up the package that I'm like, yeah, that if I was ready to use the star, I would have to wait until next year. And now since next year is here, of knowing about, it's like I had the angel right here. Got the angel right here, and on your hand is deciding about which I want to use between the angel and of course it's like the star, and of course a few lights right here and a few lights right there. Anybody that may think that yeah, so many like you got right here is the wiring and stuff, to where some people that may decide, I'm like, yep, that that they don't want to untangle them or whatever. They just want to go ahead and put them in the bag and throw them away, whatever it is. But on the other hand, too, I'm thinking about there's a way of celebrating the holidays other than the fact about you going through some of the stuff in storage, and next thing you know, like an SpaghettiOs. But other than that, like here, talk about here, let's say first, for Ready Set Lights. It's like for Ready Set Lights, it is you have right here is a button right here is the it's like for the plug-in right here, and most of the time that they say that to make sure that it's plugged in and don't use any wires. Of course they're say defective and damaged it is, but you push this button right here to activate it, like you say any lights that you may have on the tree. That right now there ain't no decorations on the tree right now, but as of like so far as Ready Set Lights it is, of talking about it's like for plugging in, it's like using the correct light switch to make sure it's not damaged, and of course it'll cause a fire. It is so far as a danger hazard it is. But well, hello everyone. It's like right here talk about so for Ready Set Lights it is basically that you see right here is the plug-in right here. Is that most of us have used these before. It is these plugins right here, and with these plugins though that you have a plug on the back, and then you have right here it's like the plug-in say on the front. And a lot of times if you were to buy one of these plugins, that these plug-in adapters, it is what you see right here, and it looks like that they have it's plugged in. So I would it's like make sure it's the switch is squished up, but they say that don't put your finger in there, but then just kind of slide it. It's like is to put the spot right here, is that we can see right here is that there's a spot which that with this kind I have right here is that it shows right here that that there ain't no that I know that there ain't no lock in it is so far as talk about locking that the plug in place or anything like that. But so far as that there's a switch on the end of it to where you can shut off the power while you're working on any type of utilities, and while you're working on any type of changing adjustment, of course, say the light set. But you have right here is to plug the light right here. It is, and right here will be like it's a switch right here, and it's like to switch that on. And then you have right here is these bulbs right here. You got these light bulbs, and this reminds me of a story back those couple of years ago. That is like with the bulbs though, that I can remember my parents had a set just like this, that with these bulbs right here, these Christmas light bulbs it is, and they would buy maybe $25 worth of bulbs it is, and then they were good for about, I would say, at least 7 years, something like that, maybe about 5. It looked just like this, but if I can remember right, the bulb of course was like made out of like a glass it is, that you have right here is the bulb. And most of the time, with anybody may wonder about how much energy does that use whenever you have it plugged in. About I would say maybe at least 8 volts or something like that. Say 8 watts, you say, of electricity. But they say a lot of times that these type of lights that don't use up a whole lot of electricity, and if they give off quite a bit of light. And with these type of bulbs though, that I can remember that had a set of them, and that's whenever I can remember that I came home from school one time and talking about it's like the orange jacket stories. Whenever I was like, we were talking about the juice, you say, of a plant. It was about the plant. The plant needs juice in order to be able to grow, and so I asked my mom, of course, for a glass of orange juice, is like so far as to help me grow. It is. I think that was the reason, to help me grow. But so far knowing about that with Christmas season, and knowing about growing up and find out, I'm like the whole part about the Christmas decoration, they say the Christmas holiday it is. Basically with these Christmas lights here that a few people that may say if they have like say a big strand right here and knowing about that if they're all tangled up and not maybe a few sockets that may have a few missing bulbs it is, and knowing about how my K I'm not gonna untangle. I'm just gonna put them in a bag and maybe throw them away, give them away, whichever it is. So they could be damaged. And I remember we had a box full of them, but and I can tell anybody here that I think it comes with changeable bulbs, but with these bulbs right here, that there's not one that is what you call is not working or defective. But I'm thinking that he's like either turn it clockwise it is and then it comes out that way. But I'm thinking here that more likely I'm just not gonna bother to change a bulb because it looks like that they're all working. But the light bulbs that I can remember that using was like what you call light bulbs that like these right here, to where that they would come like a say a set of I would say about 150 bulbs, something like that, in one set. And you got the big bulbs right here, like they say a lot of times that they're indoor or outdoor lights it is. And you have right here is the plug right here. It says right here on the say caution as so far as and on about is that the lighting the lighting oh it should see here this thing is it's like some of the print on here I guess is basically talks about this like so far as that do not use if damaged, and on the other hand too, that don't put it in areas to where that you say cause a fire hazard and of course any type of a danger hazard is. So I guess they probably say about these light bulb sets, kids that may like to buy them and decorate their bedrooms with it, or maybe put it out outside, put it on the bushes or something like that in the front yard or something like that. But they say that this these are not it's not a toy, and to use caution whenever you're using them. But on the other hand, over the years that I can tell anybody here that buying a box of one of these, I'm like that so far with holiday decorations of knowing about the whole part about holiday decorations. Of course, I got a set of color lights too. I'll go ahead and show you here in a minute, but you have to deal with these bulbs. Why is it that I got that I was maybe so excited every year about getting myself a set of one of these is I can go ahead and I don't know about wearing them, but anyway, putting them on the Christmas tree. But anyway, maybe one of the reasons why I got so excited about getting myself a set of these lights right here is basically talking about I'm like the way that from how they worked, from the bulbs, and then I guess it was like that some type of hobby it is, to where you can actually use it say to decorate stuff. And with some people that like would say with the ladies that they like making Christmas cookies, but then the guys will be putting up the decorations, getting up on the ladder and hanging up Christmas lights, you say around the tree it is, or something like that. But on the other hand too, knowing about it, I guess we all have our some sort of hobby. It's like what we like to do say for the Christmas holiday it is. Hello everyone, and talk about right here is Ready Set Lights Christmas is talking about right here is that for Ready Set Lights it is right here is the color lights right here. And I don't know, for whatever reason I can remember that these were my favorite. It's talk about between the crystal clear and the color lights it was. Why is it that maybe that these lights these lights right here were considered my favorite? It is maybe because of the fact about they were in like say variety of colors it is, and with anybody that I can remember, my parents had a box in storage just like these right here. I don't know if they're the exact same make, but that they had a box of these kind of like these Christmas lights right here, but for about 5 years that they kept them in a box, and some of them that even had missing bulbs it was. And these bulbs look like that they are made out of plastic, but if I can remember right, the bulbs that my parents had, that it was made out of, I say, like a glass type color. It was so far as glass right here, and with anybody that may think that yeah, that if you were to buy yourself a set of lights like these right here, you got right here is a tangle of them right here, and knowing I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna go, because I'm like, you gotta be very gentle with these lights, like talking about, I'm like, yeah, that, one of the reasons I'm like, anybody that may think that, well, I got, one light bulb is not working. Well, I warn her about, I check every bulb and find that, I'm not gonna be like what you call is that something like you say on one of those movies, like, Jingle All the Way or Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation or anything. But it's like that with these bulbs, with these bulbs that if we would be just like hanging them up somewhere, and then the next thing you know, it's like that you got this. If you're going to be straining up, say, wrapping them around the gutter, it is, and then the next thing you know, it's like that, yeah, the bulbs are not, one of them is not working, or maybe all of them don't work, or something like that. But anyway, though, that a lot of us, especially that the blue, I know a lot of times my favorite color a lot of times was blue, but let's just say that with the blue color, though, that you have these bulbs here, and with the bulbs, that you got the blue color, and I guess you say the blue color was more likely my favorite right here. The blue color was my favorite, and I'm like, yeah, like, oh, that's a nice looking bulb. But other than that, like here, I'm talking about, say, maybe out a few other strands of lights, and anybody probably think about, yeah, that if you want to go ahead and maybe wear like a t-shirt, it's like so far something that glows. You say glows in the dark, whichever it is. I thought I'd say you put it in blue, but I would probably think about, I'm like, yeah, that source of entertainment, especially around the holidays, is like you just plug it in and it works that way, and just put it up from wherever that you want to decorate your place with. It's like any of the decorations it is. And like I said, that with the plug in here, that they said it's not recommended to plug more than one set, more than two or three sets into the same socket. As they said, they can cause an over a short. It is, I guess they call them, it's like overload of wattage it is, but anyway, a lot of times that they probably say that if you a lot of Christmas sets that that more likely that don't come with one of these plug-in ends, and if I can see right here that I think I always wondered, like maybe with everybody else, is why is it that they have like a plug right here and then maybe a plug on the end? And a lot of times I'm thinking that with anybody that may wonder about after you plug a set and then there's another plug right here. And I'm thinking that one set that may only hold so much wattage, they say that don't overload, because that can cause they can cause the lights to go out. But more likely that I'm thinking though that they probably think about, I'm like, yeah, for one outlet, I guess one outlet that's only able to hold about maybe 120, maybe more than that, but one plug. If most of us can actually do the science study about how much voltage one plug can hold, and it's like with that extension cord, it is, if we were to do the study of talk about, say, plug in the light, and then knowing about that you plug in a light, and then if you're going to go ahead and plug in maybe another set of lights, and talking about like if they're tangled up, and talking about like that you plug right here, and then you got right here, it's like you plug right here and the plug right there still, and you got a plug on the bottom. And if anybody probably thinking about that you have these lights right here, and you say the lights right here, and maybe if you want to add a star along with it, and then talking about about how much power do you think is going to just just to these two plugs right here, about how much voltage. I mean, I'm thinking that after it reaches to about maybe 80 watts or maybe 120 watts, then you may start having a problem with, say, with overload, say surge it is. But anyway, but talk about what's like with the holiday lights, it is basically talk about, it's like so far as for ready set lights. So they talk about, say, ready set lights. I talk about right here is ready set lights is you plug right here, and then you got right here is a strand of lights. These right here will be like the small bulbs. I can remember these were the lights a lot of times I like to use, but plug it in right here, and then the lights look like these. if most kids would maybe remember these lights right here, with these lights right here that, you know, whenever you, these lights right here, I can remember a couple times that they would get all tangled up, especially if you're going to have a set of about, you know, at least maybe 200 bulbs, something like that, maybe 150 bulbs, that you can maybe buy some that come with about 150 bulbs right here. But then we can see right here is with this set that don't even have a plug-in right here on the end. And anybody may think about it, you can actually buy them, buy a box of them, you know, for about maybe $2 or $3 at the dollar store or something like that, or store around town. But then of course it has a plug right here on the end, and so more likely that with almost every, you know, light bulb set, it's going to have, like we say, a plug right here on the end to where you can actually plug it in another set. So if you want to put the, you know, this right here, this strand right here, maybe be good to put on the, maybe on the top of the tree, and then maybe to plug the angel in. But other than that, or the star. But other than that, I talk right here. So first, ready set lights. And hello everyone. I talk about, say, for ready set lights. So first, ready set lights. You have right here is a big strand of lights right here. I mean, you're talking about, you know, a set of lights that more likely that, you know, this, you know, set of lights right here, more likely anybody that may say that, you know, to kind of roll them up real nice and neatly while they're in storage, you know, for the next year it is. And basically that anybody maybe think about, like, yeah, that with the lights though, if you're going to have like a big strand right here, and anybody maybe think about, I'm like, yeah, well, I'll go ahead and put it up on my shoulder right here, and be like, yeah, you know, I'll tell you one thing that, about the, you know, I don't know, if I had a choice between if I would rather wear it or try to untangle it, but on the other hand too, don't about like, you know, you ought to know about, you know, about the whole strand of lights right here. Talk about the, you know, the reason why that they're used it is, and that a lot of times with anybody that may say about between dealing with tying between them, other than that I'm like, if you would rather be in that situation to where that, you know, maybe trying to you know, trying to stuff a turkey or anything like that, there may be more other difficult things, of course, about maybe the holiday season, other than the fact about, yeah, like, talk about, like, yeah, you know, would you rather go ahead and pay the, deal with the hassle of maybe paying the electric bill, or would you rather maybe dealing with trying to untangle this set of lights? But anybody ever think about, like, neither, or, you know, maybe I can go ahead and deal with the electric bill, whichever it is. But anyway, talking right here is a set of lights right here. You say to plug it in right here. It's like, you know, the lights still work. It is. You hear the lights still work, but on the other hand too, that knowing about, like, it's a knot. Like, it's a knot. And talk about right here, these strand of lights right here, and I like talking about, like, yeah, the lights work, but like, if you be like, you know, like, honey, it's a knot. But anyway, but talk right here of you have a knot right here of lights, and with anybody that may say that, I guess, you know, pretty much between maybe, you know, one, you know, between, you know, untangling, maybe a yarn or thread, whichever it is. And I guess it's really not that hard of knowing about whichever parts, to say whatever line, say, of the set is that, you know, start out with the set that's not, you know, too tangled up, and it kind of work your way down. And it's like, you know, whenever you take the lights apart, is to gently to, you know, detach them while you're pulling. At the same time, pull gently and just kind of move say, you know, back and forth motion to kind of get them untangled. It is. And like, so far as changing the light bulbs, it is. And you have right here at these type of light bulbs right here that if you had to change them, it is. If you had to change them, and it would be, like we say, a way that you would be able to, anybody that may think about, you know, maybe if you want to go ahead and maybe, I don't know if a screwdriver is recommended, but there is be like a way that you can take the bulb out, you know, just by removing it, you say, from the top end, you know, the side right there. But anybody, but talk about here is like with the lights right here. I basically talk, say, to decorate the tree, it is. And more likely I'll go ahead and get the star, but talk, say, for ready set lights. Well, hello everyone. I talk about here is like for ready set lights. So far as ready set lights, I talk about right here is you have right here is the lights right here that we have plugged in. And then that right here is that we can see right here is that these right here, go ahead, use right here is the plug right here, is the plug in, you got these icicle lights. I can remember I bought these last year, you got the icicle lights right here. Plug these in, these icicle lights in, and then knowing about, about how the icicle lights work. And I can remember back in 1997, I think that these were pretty hard to find. I can remember, parents like Dan, it's like, my parents would call, a few places, and then talking about, I'm like, yeah, that they, I know one or two people that they called, around different places, and they said that they had almost every set of lights, that, except the icicle lights, and know about what these icicle lights that they're talking about. I'm like, yeah, with the icicle lights, and then you have right here, you got the icicle lights, but then you also have this set of lights right here. You got these lights right here. They kind of all tangled up. Maybe from last year was, but anyway, if I can find that in, see if the light it is. Right here, you got right here is this other strand of lights right here, and then you have right here, this with this strand of lights. I'm like, yeah, talking about like well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the electric bill, other than the fact about dealing with these. But on the other hand, that knowing about that, yeah, so far as for the lights, between lights in the sky, and of course right here, you have right here's these lights right here, and of course I got another set. I found like say 2 in 1. I found another set of lights right underneath it is, and then like with anybody, if they're going through their old Christmas decorations, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, you see where's the plug, and where's the outlet, and then right here, go ahead and plug these in, and then knowing about my, yeah, I have right here, I have 4 different sets of lights plugged in. This set right here, of course, is the white, and then I got right here, right down here is the green set. I like that's all kind of tangled up in a knot, but with any men, any guys it is, would you rather, you want to go ahead and take care of these 2 knots while I'll go ahead and take care of the turkey, or do you want to go ahead and take care of the turkey and I'll go ahead and try to take care of these 2 knots? And anybody might talk about a knot right here and then a knot right here. I'm talking about, and then that's what you call it, like so far as it's like with the Christmas tree. But other than that, I talk right here so far as say for ready set lights. Well, hello everyone. I talk about here so far as for ready set lights it is. You got right here is like a big wide of lights right here, and talking about like I would say about maybe at least 300. You say sets of light in right here. You have another set of lights right here. You plug that in to the other end right here. It's like to those lights it is, and then knowing about like yep, but this set of lights right here. It's like talking about right here. It's like for ready set lights. But other than that right here, it's like for the holiday season it is. You got a big set of lights right here, and knowing about the and like is that going on the front of the house, or is it going around the Christmas tree? But other than that, when I talk about like is it going around the house or is it going around the Christmas tree? But other than that, I talk right here, and then right here, I'm like go ahead and try to find the plug right here to where I can plug in the other set. I'm like for the star it is. You got right here is like for the star, and go ahead and plug this in like for the star. It barely went in, but you have right here's the star. And I talk about it's like so far as like the talk up's like with the top of the Christmas tree. So far as right here is like for ready set lights it is. But right here, like here, right here is the star, and then you have right here is like with the angel. Like about right here, plug that in, and then you got right here is the angel. It is. It's like you got here, the angel. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, this angel right here that I've used it for about 7 years total, which is say it still works. It is, but on the other hand too, the way I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it kept it protected, but where am I going to put the star and the angel? But I'm like, well, I'll figure out where I'm going to put my decorations so far as for ready set lights it is. So I think for ready set lights. Well, hello everyone, and I talk about here so far as for ready set lights. I can kind of already, kind of feel a little bit of the warming heat, coming from this. Say, this maybe call this knot of lights right here, and right here. You got right here is a knot of lights, and plus including the star right here. But I would recommend to anybody that knowing about that is if you're going to be working with a lot of lights, of knowing about exactly about your where it's plugged in, it is, and with the where it's plugged in, and then knowing about that, if you're going to be working with any lights, is that some people that may do that is to where if you're going to be working with a lot of lights, is to go ahead and lay down the lights, flat on the floor to where that they're like what you call like a single row. It is to untangle them and lay them down into like say a single row. It is so far safe for the ready set lights. Well, hello everyone. Right here you have right here, as you say, the Christmas tree right here, and right here I'm talking about right here so far for ready set lights. You got right here is the plug-in right here, and you got right here, it looks like a 8-foot cord. It is to plug the lights in, but right here, talk about right here is the star right here. It's like the plug in the star, and if anybody has had it reminds me of a story, say from back in. You say the year would have been about 1993, something like that, that we had a star right here. It's like to put that on the top of the tree, it is. And a lot of times with anybody that, I'm like that, yeah, it's more likely that this more likely would be plugged in at the end of the string of the lights, it is. It's like if you had it right here, you got right here is a string of lights, and this set of lights right here does not even have a it does not even have say a plug-in on the end, but I think this one does right here. But anyway, right here is like what you call like the plug-in right here, but it's like the plug-in these lights right here. Go ahead and switch plugs here, but is to go ahead and plug this strand of lights in. But basically that what I'll go ahead and show you right here is to plug. Just an example is to go ahead and plug in the set of lights, and then to go ahead and plug in the star, and from there, and then to kind of lay it down one way. Of course, maybe some people that may do that is like to plug the lights in right here, and then from those lights it is that go ahead and then from there is to kind of untangle them, and then let's see here, go ahead and plug these and plug in the star right there on the end. But you have right here is a star, and I'll go ahead and put the star right here, say in the center of the tree. And I'm like, yeah, I put somewhere where I think it's gonna stay put. It is, but anyway, or put it on the floor. I'm like anybody that may suggest if anything to put it on the floor, or somewhere where it's not gonna get stepped on either. But anyway, you have right here is I'm going to show here in a minute, but you have right here is a set of lights, and with the set of lights right here, basically that you have right here is like the set of lights right here, and it's to kind of lay them down on the ground right here. Here's a star. Put the star right here to where it's not going to be easily be stepped on. I was thinking about maybe putting the star about right here, maybe in the center of the tree. It is where it's like to kind of give everybody an idea of about, I'm like, that for exactly where the star goes. And on the other hand is to go ahead and with the plug, I'm like, that not everything's all set up correctly. I'm like, so far as how they plug in, and I've been like, at the end of whenever you work your way at the top of the tree, it is to go ahead and plug it in from there. But is lay the lights down like this right here, it's like with the plug in, and then from there, and then go ahead and just using both hands, it is to go ahead and gently untangle them, and then to kind of lay them down on the ground. It is, it's like say it's like a single string. It is like I only have one hand to work with, but right here is like to go ahead and lay them down flat on the ground to where, and then go ahead and give yourself at least 4 or 5 feet of space to kind of lay them down on the ground, and then before you put them up on a tree, it is. But other than that, like say like a layout pattern so far as for the ready set lights Christmas holiday. Well, hello everyone. You talk about right here is for ready set lights right here, you see right here is that that you put the say the camera on charger, but I was say working on untangling some of the lights it was, and knowing about right here is that you see right here is that these lights right here that I can go ahead and right here is go ahead and like mouse like for say with the camera right here is that the lights right here, and then like right there, and like you have right here's the telephone. I like a telephone which I have it connected, of course, you say to the Magic Jack, which is I gotten quite a few, I'd say early to say Christmas presents it was. Talk about right here is like say with the Magic Jack though, it's like with Magic Jack that talk about it's like between like say magic it is so far as the magic holiday season it is. But you have right here is is the light the Christmas slides down, and then right here is you say use both hands it is, and it's like we can see right here is that with the strand of lights right here that's kind of all tangled up is know exactly about that. If we can see this right here is that there will be like what you call like certain wires it is that kind of gently like what you call like move them like say back and forth it is, and then gradually see which one that comes apart it is, gently just kind of pull them apart it is, not real hard, but then of course very gently it is, very gently to go ahead and pull them apart and see if they come apart. And they start gradually coming apart. It's like whenever you pull them gently, and then after you start pulling them apart gradually at a time, and then they may start falling apart also. So I don't know if that really makes any sense. After you pull them apart until they fall apart, something like that. But anyway, you have right here is these crystal lights right here, the crystal big bulb lights, and I lay them down on the ground. It is, and I'll go ahead and show right here is that have right here go ahead and show that that like after lay them down on the ground, and then from there and then they'll be ready to go on the Christmas tree. But you have right here is a strand of lights right here that I don't even have plugged in, but I'll be plugging those as well. But you have right here is these lights right here, and I could probably tell anybody here that I guess that this will be like what you call a way of how to get the lights all set up, and for you to get ready to put them say on the Christmas tree it is. And a lot of times ways to know about if that every bulb is working it is, and that there ain't no damaged bulbs it is around. But other than that is to go ahead and lie them down on the ground, and then from there, so far as they say for the ready set lights. Talk about with the ready set lights it is, you have right here is the plug right here. And I'm thinking though that anybody might talk about if it says anywhere on the box if the lights are good for indoor and outdoor use. I've been using these lights for like indoor use, but there are some lights that they say that can only be used indoors it is. But on the other hand too that I'm like that the type of lights though that more likely that the type of lights to where that you whenever you buy them it's that talking about is that to where that they can only be used indoors it is, they can't be used outdoors. But you have right here is you say a set of lights right here, and let's go ahead right here. I'm like that that it's like recommended to go ahead and use use both hands while doing this. But on your hand that I'm like that I'm talking about right here is go ahead like time I get the camera position right here it is. But you have right here is to go ahead and plug in the lights. You got right here is the plug-in, but then of course you say the plug-in the lights about right here. See, plug in the light right here, and I can tell anybody here that I'm like that with the light switch it is basically right here. It's like with the light switch right here. It's like with the light switch right here is that you have to say plug it in with say with the light switch is like that. This actually the button right there. But with the plug-in though, with this like with the plug-in. But you have right here is with these lights right here, and I only have like say an 8-foot cord you say for the to the plug, it's like to where the lights plug in at, and is to kind of say lay the lights on the ground. It is I can I guess what I'm doing kind of like go ahead and lay the lights down right here. Anybody probably thinking about on your lap, something like that. But anyway, but talk about right here is talk about like to lay the lights right here. It is, and knowing about that with the lights that for whatever reason that whenever I was young that with these type of Christmas lights that I used to be like what you call one of those boys to where young boys it was to where that get up on the ladder over there at the house where I used to live at, and then hang up lights, you say on the gutters it was. I guess I was what you call that, some sort of man of the house at the time. But other than that, I hear of that talk about it's like to say the Christmas lights that these I get but my parents can maybe even say that these were what you call were one of my favorite sets of Christmas lights it was, and I don't know if they were maybe the same make, but on their hand that they were what you call that one of those kind of Christmas lights to where that you like hanging getting in there, getting in the box of the lights and then digging them out and getting them ready to be displayed. It is, and anybody that may say about that you would rather work on this other than get involved with any other type get involved with maybe Christmas cookies or maybe cooking the ham or setting the table. Anybody they had a choice of either one between playing around with maybe working with the Christmas decorations or to maybe setting the table. There may be some people that may say that setting the table of course was not their favorite thing either, but on the other hand that you have right here say with the Christmas lights, and you got right here is the Christmas lights, and then right here is the star. It is, and like Tom I goes off right to put the star say on the top of the tree, and then they have right here is another set right also. You got right here another set also, and then this other set right here of talking about that plug it in right here is like to the plug right here, and then right here with this other set of lights right here, it has a switch, like a knob switch right here, where you can actually change. It's like you have right here is a switch, and basically that you turn it and it does different things. If most of us remember that kind of set, and like to turn it say the knob counterclockwise it is, and basically it does different stuff. But anyway, got right here that type of set, and then knowing about it's like so far as you go out and it comes back on, that type of say motion. And I talk about that the sparkle chasing, and of course the face on is sparkling, and then you have here's a steady burn, something like that. But anyway, but you have right there, you got that kind of light. But anyway, so far as the top buttons like for handling the lights, safe so far as race set lights is talk safe for y'all have for the safe holiday it is. Well, hello, and like talk about here is like talking about ready set lights. It is I say for the holiday season. You have right here is the star right here plugged in on that part of say the lights the light set it is, and then the way down. But talk about right here is talking about it's like say the lights on the tree it is, and I talking about it's like for ready set lights, and then here it's like talking about say with the telephone it is. But other than that, like talking about right here of talking about like I did not use every set of light that I have, all the light sets that I have, but on your hand that I went ahead and used about 3 sets you see on the Christmas. So far as I say for happy holidays, like to all and all a good night.